Hello, I'm Şehkar Faydakınık from Istanbul Technical University. Today I'm going to present you the research paper entitled Impressions on Accreditation as a Tool for Quality Assurance of the Internationalization in Higher Education, Gains and Challenges. As you know, quality assurance is an important topic for the internationalization of higher education, and it has been the center of expanding consideration for the researchers. Therefore, a number of studies on this topic have been carried out. Regarding the issues of higher education beyond national boundaries. This provides opportunities for higher education institutions to benefit from increasingly diverse individual experiences. So, what is quality assurance? Quality assurance is a key component for higher education systems all around the world. The purpose and functions of quality assurance must be investigated locally as well as globally because quality assurance can be defined as the system to enhance the quality of education. So, even though some researchers use the term quality assurance and accreditation interchangeably, there are actually differences because quality assurance is an umbrella term concept, including accreditation too. So, what is accreditation? Actually, accreditation is a tool for quality assurance of the internationalization in higher education, and it's a mark of distinction for academic programs. With the help of the accreditation, universities with all their stakeholders directly benefit from the involvement in a comprehensive assessment of how effectively the program or institution meets its stated mission. So there are a number of types of accreditation in the literature, such as institutional accreditation and programmatic accreditation. So, institutional accreditation represents the accreditation of the whole institution. However, in programmatic accreditation, some specific programs are accredited by the agencies. So, accreditation is offered by some external agencies through the process to encourage and promote school improvement and in the end fostering excellence in the education. So higher education institutions tend to enter into the process of accreditation because it requires self-study applications and it will help their organizational performance improvement. But this process actually may result in a number of gains and challenges. So, this paper aims to investigate the impressions of academics on the accreditation process of the programs in the context of internationalization utilizing a qualitative research design. When we look at in detail of the research design of this study, actually, we see that qualitative data collection was used in order to find out the impressions of academics on the accreditation process of their institution. So this study was carried out with the academics who had been a part of the self-study process during the accreditation phase in the institution. Purposeful conventional sampling was used, and 20 instructors working full-time at a state university in Turkey took part in the study. So let's focus on the details about the study group. When we look at the demographic characteristics, we see that five of the participants are male, 15 of them are female. In terms of their experiences in the institution, one participant with 1 to 5 years, 6 participants have the experience of 6 to 10 years. 4 participants have the experience of 11 to 15 years. Again, 4 participants have the experience of 15 to 20 years. 2 of them have the experience of 21 to 25 years, and 3 of them have the experience of 26 to 30 years in the institution. So, what about the data collection instrument? The data is collected through a semi-structured interview form. It includes 7 open-ended questions regarding the accreditation process, actually. And after the necessary validity and reliability procedures were followed, the data collection instrument was finalized by the researcher to conduct the study. And after the examination of the existing literature on accreditation, the data was collected and the interviews were made with 20 instructors at the proper place and time specified before. So, during the data analysis, content analysis was used in the light of scientific knowledge in the field. Each participant was given a representative code like T1, T2, and the number of participants and the times they stated, which means the frequency levels were analyzed accordingly. So during the content analysis, themes and codes were revealed, and they were scientifically interpreted during the analysis. Let's focus on the findings of the study. Generally, 6 themes were relieved. Let's read them together. Perceived accreditation, perceived functions of accreditation, change contingent on accreditation, perceived organizational performance, perceived organizational improvement, and quality assurance. So let's focus on the details and codes of each theme. Under the theme of perceived accreditation, 6 codes were found out. Compliance and standards, 8 of the participants agreed with this code, actually. International recognition, determination of qualifying criteria, mechanism for quality assurance, improvement in the conditions, and finally overcoming the deficiencies. Let's look at the table. On the table, you will see the codes and the theme. N represents the number of participants. F represents frequency levels, the ones actually, the times they repeat this code. Okay, so I just want you to focus on the frequency levels. For example, for mechanism for quality assurance, you see the frequency is 38, even though 4 instructors agreed with this code. So frequency levels are important here, as you see. For the other theme, perceived functions of accreditation, 9 codes were identified: standardization, internationalization, improvement, increase in performance, a tool for quality assurance, sustainability, modernization, external inspection, and reliability. When you look at the table here, again, the first one, standardization, you see 8 participants referred to this code, and also they repeated it 40 times, as you see. And secondly, a tool for quality assurance, you see 38 seven times it was repeated by five participants. So, under the theme of change contingent on accreditation, five codes were detected: regular reporting, accountability, international validity, improvement in technology, systemization, and effective use of sources. And on the table 3, you see that 11 participants actually agreed with the code regular reporting, with 19 frequency 19 times actually. uh, for the theme of perceived organizational performance, four codes were revealed: professional development, organizational division of labor, administrative arrangements, and unchanged performance. This is really interesting. In this table, you see that the frequency level of unchanged performance is 24. So actually, this is a challenge for the organization. So under this code, we see that it was repeated 24 times. This is an interesting finding. And also for the theme of perceived organizational improvement, three codes were found out: improvement in technology, improvement in physical conditions, and improvement in programs. Uh, when you look at this table, you see that improvement in technology actually has the highest number of participants as a code, with the level of 13 in frequency. And under the theme of quality assurance, three codes were detected: accreditation, standards for organizational needs, and in-service training as a last finding here. So I again want to highlight here the frequency level of accreditation 110 for this code. So it is highlighted a lot for the theme of quality assurance. So let's move to discussion part. So accreditation is an internationally recognizable standard-based process. So it requires compliance in standards, international recognition, determination of qualifying criteria, mechanism for quality assurance, improvement in the conditions, and overcoming the deficiencies. So accreditation aims to define the criteria to improve the quality of the institution based on these criteria. So we can say that accreditation is a quality control mechanism through assessment. So it gives an opportunity to the organization to address its shortcomings, we can say. So perceived functions of accreditation, as revealed in this study, standardization, in internationalization, improvement, increase in performance, a tool for quality assurance, and sustainability, and the other codes are consistent with the existing literature. As you see, trust-based, standard-based, evidence-based, judgment-based, and peer-based in nature, as Eaton described actually in his work. So it's similar to the literature actually. And also another finding in the study: change contingent is on accreditation is inevitable. So there are some resources in the literature, as you see. When we say actually change contingent on accreditation, these are the you see in the pink ones are the results of the study. So it is inevitable in the literature too, because in the end it will actually force the institution to change in a way. So, accreditation in education is a process that regulates the control of colleagues. Um, Ensuring academic development in educational institution, fulfilling social accountability and evaluating a team of colleagues or peers. Okay, so it is actually supported by the literature, as you see, quality assurance as the main global accountability tool in higher education. Characterized by Stansaker and Harvey. So, in the end, which requires regular reporting, systemization, and effective use of organizational resources. And also, as for organizational performance, there are a number of benefits and challenges universities have to face. We can say professional development practices and organizational division of labor are inevitable stages to be accredited. Based on these stages, actually, it can be implied that administrative arrangements due to accreditation will positively affect organizational performance. And also, as a challenge, there are some challenges of this process. It was also determined the accreditation process did not affect the organizational performance. The arrangements made mostly on paper and did not reflect directly on student achievement in classroom work, as stated by the instructors took place in the study. So, all the accreditation is a tool to increase the institutional quality. There may be some situations where the work done through accreditation cannot be internalized by the institution, which can be actually defined as unchanged performance within the organization, or which can be defined as a challenge. So, according to Sakiro, the accreditation process itself as assessment does not necessarily lead to improvement. This finding is also in parallel with the literature here. So, quality assurance in higher education is indispensable, but there are some unbridgeable gaps between political discourses and the reality of educational environment. So, when quality assurance models and trends that will contribute to transnational regulations in higher education are analyzed, the model dealing with the development of true international quality assurance and accreditation agreements is among the prominent quality assurance models recently. Um, so, in conclusion, we can say that there are gains and challenges of accreditation in terms of quality assurance. And yes, it gives or it sets some standards for the institution, but sometimes they cannot be internalized by the members of that institution. So, yes, it provides a lot of opportunities for higher education institutions in terms of quality assurance and improvement, but there are also some challenges of this process. These are the references used for this paper. Thank you for listening.